So good evening, everyone. Welcome to my Twitch. So tonight I'm going to play three games for you. I'm going to play Space War, Outlaw, and Slot Racers. Um, Hopefully I fixed all the audio problems. My voice is a little louder, and the games will be a little softer. So it was just a mixing problem. I think I took care of that. So first we'll start with the game Space War. And Space War was released in 1978, and it uses a joystick controller. Um, the game is based on a game designed in 1962, and it has a two-player combat mode and a single-player shuttle mode. I did not play this game as a kid, and I didn't know anyone that had it, so that I played around with it a little bit to prepare for the show, and it's it's an interesting game. I think there's 17 levels or something like that, but we'll uh, we'll see what we can find out here. So, unfortunately, Atari H does not have the manual, so um, there's a different website, and bear with me for a second. I forgot this. It's actually a PDF that I got from a different website. I got it from gamedatabase.org. So shout out to them for providing it. And so the VGR ratings on this game, the graphics are 1, which is rated poor graphics. It's very simple. You'll see it looks like two asteroid ships and they're shooting at each other. And the playability is 4 for fun. Again, this game is competitive, so I think a lot of people really got into it and really, really basically, just enjoyed the competition. A lot of these early games are based on a competitive nature, and so with that, we'll my static again because that's not really a real thing here, and I will turn on the game. So this is what it looks like. You see right here, it's basically two asteroid ships, and I'll reset this first game. So the top bar next to your score is your fuel. The bottom bar is your points. So if I thrust, I move closer to my enemy. So then I shot him. So one of my shots went away. You saw how much went away. And this has a galaxy boundary. So you see I bounce. So I'm burning through my shots pretty quickly. Bouncing again. Ooh, missed him. So this is a billiard game as well. So you can ricochet your shots. Not that good. Man, I hit myself. And I'm out of bullets. So I got 3 shots in. If there was another player, it'd basically be playing keep or getaway. And otherwise, we're going to sit here for 10 minutes of nothing. So I'll go forward. So this is basically the same games. I think at 3 maybe was where the boundaries disappeared. Yeah, so you see it wraps around the screen. I barely missed him there. But it's limited in the number of shots again, so you're basically limited to what you can do. I get a shot in. So this is what I was talking about. This, I think they called it the sun. And see how it's got a gravitational field that pulls both ships toward it. I believe if you hit it, so I went into hyperspace there. I pulled back. So I get a point every time he hits it. But you see my fuel's burning up. I still haven't come out of hyperspace. And I pull back again and I appear somewhere on the map. So now I'm not burning any fuel, but I'm bouncing. So you see it wrapped me around. It's an interesting thing. I don't think I've seen that in any other games. Be interesting if they did that on asteroids. Put a black hole in every once in a while so that you didn't control your ship. And I had asteroids as a kid, and I was not very good at that game. Okay, so moving on. More of the same. I think here, yeah, so the sun doesn't have any strong, and it just puts you back to your starting point if you hit it. And your bullets don't go through it. So it's an interesting concept. Now, this is the space station docking. This game is a little more difficult. So there's a red and a green. So I hit it, so I got a point. And so you see it shoots off at a different direction. Ooh, missed it. Missed it by that much. Oh, wait, I hit it there. You can't shoot in these games. So maybe because I got a 2-point lead, let's go for the green dot. Or blue dot, whatever color that is. So there he docked on accident. So maybe I can dock it. Nope. So I docked twice, and that's it. Maybe it's going too fast? I don't know. Maybe I have to hit the front? The other thing I found incredibly crazy about this, well, it's definitely not hitting the back of the spaceship. I think the faster it goes, the more difficult it gets. But I think about it, that blip hit the back of his ship. And I see there it hit right through the front, and I did not dock. Maybe I have to hit the button to dock? But he didn't hit the button. See, I don't know. This game is frustrating. Can't hit him, can't do anything. Well, I didn't hit the green one yet. Or the blue one, whatever color it is. Just missed it. Nope. I passed through both of them at the same time there and didn't get a point. So I don't know. I don't know how you score in this game, other than bounce off of them. So this is a one-player game, and this is my space station, right? Oh, just missed it. Maybe it's your rate of speed in comparison to the space station. So now my rate of speed is small. This actually is like orbiting. Not that I'm familiar with it, but... hard when you go off screen. Oops, wrong way. I'm sure this is exciting for you to watch as it is for me to play. It is challenging because so I'd be willing to wager a little bit that I'm sure in the 80s, so now our relative speed is good. Ugh. So yeah, so I think it has to do with relative speed with the space station. You can only dock when it's... The thing that's crazy is you can actually go incredibly fast in this game. So you see me here, I'm really running it out. That's probably full throttle, probably half the speed of light, I mean, in reality. So that's for the rest of these games. And some of them have the sun thing, some of them have the galaxy boundary, some of them have both. And we're back to game one. So that's basically it for Space War. By the way, I'm not using a standard joystick tonight. I'm using, oh, I can't really see it. Okay. This bad boy. I think it's a Wicco controller. It's got two buttons and a selector switch on the bottom. On the bottom. God, this is hard to show. There's a select. Oh, it's on here. It's on the base. So there's a switch here that you switch between the stick button and the base button here. So it's basically an aftermarket controller. It's a lot easier for me to control. I don't know if you caught it yesterday, but I had a lot of health issues and my hands are very weak as a result. So trying to use this kind of as a little bit of therapy to basically strengthen my hands back up and share my games. I mean, because I got a lot of them. So we'll pull Space War out. Done with that. Now we'll go to Outlaw. Outlaw is cartridge 2605. So this fifth game. So, okay, so even though it's two-player here, I'm just going to shoot the other guy. So you can see it's actually pretty simple graphics. This game is pretty simple graphics. So, you know, you move, you draw your gun, and then you can aim it, and let the button go, and it shoots him dead in the head, headshot. So this, I think, may hit the cactus. Yeah. So that you're not limited in shots. So. Because you always respawn, I think you respawn where you die. See if we can get an angled shot in. So this is as far as I can go. with the cactus. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what advantage the angled shot has in this game. It's just straight shooting. So I got the 10, and, you know, I win. So this one, I believe you can shoot away the cactus. Yeah. So it was important to move around in this game a lot. So now here, this is the thing I'm going to look at. If I can shoot the obstacle, can I get over there? Yeah, I can get over there. We can dance. Okay, so So like I said, in this game it was important to move around a lot. I don't know when I played my friend if we ever got to the point where the obstacle was cleared away enough to get to the other side, so I had to try. So that was a 6-shooter. Let me go back to that. Oh, I skipped it again. Well, here's the stagecoach, and here it is moving. So with this one, you had to turn the shot so that it shot in between the stagecoaches. Because if you didn't, it hit the stagecoach and didn't go anywhere. Kind of like real life. So this one is, you can shoot through the stagecoach, I believe. So basically, it's a very simple game. This is a moving shoot through the stagecoach. This is a 6-shooter game, so you have 6 shots. So you basically have to pick your games. Well, that's interesting. It won't let me go past it because I can't move fast enough. So the thing about this is you either had to be quick or your opponent shouldn't move while you were aiming, because, you know, and this may be an opportunity to explore. Well, this is my last shot. So now I'm out of bullets, so now it's a game of keep away while he takes 6 shots at me. So that's that game. So here's the wall with the 6 shooters. So I'll show you this, and I'll show you why I think you need to work together. I'm out of bullets. I'm halfway through. And so you basically have to work at it, and then somebody has to take a shot to basically blow one part of the wall, and then somebody else takes the other, and then it's just, you know, I mean, this game is kind of pointless because I think it would end up in a stalemate most times. This is unlimited shots, so here I'll go up to the wall and show you. Oh, this is a moving wall too. So you still had to work together, but if one of you took the time to blow it most of the way, I mean, this game reminds me of Yar's Revenge in a lot of ways. There we go, shot him. I had to shoot about 100 shots, but I got one in. And then now it's just, you know, avoid each other and take shots, and the angled shots were the big thing. So this, I think, this might be a moving wall with a 6-shooter. So this is going to be impossible. Yeah, this is impossible. Unless there's a reload function that I don't know. Touch the wall? No. Or maybe if the other person shoots their 6 shots, you both get another 6 shots. So here we are at the shooting gallery. So this is one player. So it bounces. Terrible. So 50 seconds or 50 bounces to get 10 shots in. So you'd compare that to your buddy's score, or your brother's score, or your sister's score for that matter. And when you got to that, it basically ended. So it'd be records. This one, I think, doesn't count the top bumps. They count the bottom bounces. So this is shooting with the stagecoach moving. And this is, I can't remember how long I told you had to do it, but, it's a matter of timing it. It's just basically a shooting gallery, and that's all the games. So it's not super exciting, not super boring either, but basically it's better as a two-player game because, you have head-to-head competition with somebody. And, you're always wrenching on your joysticks. I mean, always. It got to a point where, like I said, my buddy actually got boils on his hands, and his doctor told him to not play Atari for a week because he was playing it too much and he was hurting his hands. And I remember as a kid, my hands aching because we would play video games for hours. And I mean, this was different than anything else that was available at the time. I mean, we played board games and stuff like that, Monopoly and things like that, things that everybody plays. But I mean, these were hands down better than anything else you had prior to it. And, Atari was affordable, so everyone had it. Everyone had combat, and your parents would always buy you a few extra games. So, in the end, it kind of led the way to the boom of video games. And then it did bust. And if you make it through this whole series with me, I'll be surprised because I have over 350 games, over 300 of them are unique, and it was hard to discern what was good and what was not at the time. There weren't publications out there, there weren't reviews out there that people could count on to give them good advice as far as, do you buy this game, do you not, and those programs and magazines and websites, they come and go, and now some of them are very established, and because they do see video games as a legitimate business. But back in the 70s and 80s, it was just basically a toy. A lot of adults played it, but a lot of kids were really the market, and they felt like kids didn't have money, so this is not big business. And now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So definitely things have changed, and this was kind of the infancy, and that's why I call it legacy gaming, not classic gaming, because legacy is just basically this is the inception of massive people playing video games. There were systems before this. You go back into the 70s, there's Odyssey, there's Pong, there's all sorts of things that people played. In my house, we were kind of late to get the Atari. My cousin got it first. He got the Sears version, and I ended up getting an Atari. My dad got a bonus one year, and they said, "Well, we can buy you a canoe or an Atari." We said, "An Atari," and I have three brothers, and so it provided a lot more enjoyment than a canoe would have. We definitely were outdoorsy as well, but this this made us definitely more indoorsy. And me and my younger brothers played it a lot more than my older brother. He's about 3 years older than me. He played it, but he was not obsessed with it. And as a kid, I got obsessed with it. I got obsessed with playing video games. When Nintendo came out, that really kind of solidified that I wanted to play video games. And in the early 2000s, I hosted a LAN party, and so I have a little bit of history with video games. And this is basically taking me back to my roots. So now we're going to go over the last game, which is Slot Racers. I also This is a game I did not have as a kid. I did not know anyone that had it as a kid. Um, First, we'll go over the history and the information. So, it was released in 1978. It uses a joystick controller. Um, it was written by the same programmer that went on to create Adventure, which is kind of a fan favorite. And it's a single or two-player game. I did not play this as a kid. The ratings on this game from VGR are the graphics are poor and the playability is 3, that it's worth playing. So let's get into it and see. So we'll get back to this game. So I will start this, and I know this is a two-player game, but I'm just gonna run it myself. So I'm the green car. So I'm going to turn here, turn the corner. So that's why that is indicating you're trying to turn. So then I can go through here, turn through there, turn through there, turn through there, turn through there. I don't know what happens when we impact. So here you can't turn around, and that thing's going to bounce forever until it hits this guy. Oh yeah, I put it on B so I could pick it up. So yeah, it hit him. So now he's moving. It really isn't letting me speed up. Not much sound in the game, that's for sure. So this, I think, is what you want to do. Shoot, turn, 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 shoot. I messed it up. Oh, I turned the wrong way. Oh, that's hitting the brakes. That da da da. Oh, and it's accelerating too. So that's, but you can't accelerate once you're up there. So anyway, that's pretty boring. So we'll go to this maze now. This maze is definitely different. Where am I? I'm behind me. Let's see if this hits him. Gets him moving. Interesting. Oh, it's so quick to shoot him again. So now this is going to be interesting. Okay, so it goes around these segments. So I'm going to switch my route. I wonder what happens when you do that. If you get trapped in one of these little... ooh, interesting. Yeah, see, I pick it up. So you can basically trap yourself in this little part of the maze. That's interesting. There's a block there when I switch to this maze. So it's basically the same thing. Where's the game number on here? I don't see the game number. So some of these... So this is a lot faster. Okay. It's just more of the same. These games aren't very Maybe that's the number of players at the top. Oh, I see. So you're picking the game and then you're picking the maze. So it's just more complicated. So this is game 4. And it said game 5. So let's see what this one does. Well, I'm definitely going fast. So it's basically a case of if you go too fast. So here you're stopped and they're going way faster. Okay, well, different mazes, more complicated mazes. I could see how this could be fun. So this is one player. So this is where we're getting into the one player games. So I think it's one player. Man, that's super fast. I can lap my bullet. Different mazes. Man, these are super flying. So it's basically the same game over and over. And, we're getting in onto the end of the game. So we're back to one. Slow moving blocks to represent cars. So, hope you enjoyed these games. Nobody chatted, so if you watch it, I'm Atari Man on Twitter, AtariMan71, sorry, at AtariMan71 on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube under AtariMan71. I put the programs on there. I cut out the stuff that I don't control the content of, so I eliminated the instructions on there, and I just put the gameplay and some of my introduction stuff that I've put together myself. If you like it, follow me. If you feel like I'm playing an interesting game, and I know these are pretty boring here at the beginning because they're pretty old and pretty simple, but I promise you, if you stick with me, I'm going to get with more exciting games. Planning a special, might not be for at least a month, but I want to go for a perfect score in Pitfall 2. As a kid, I fell one gold bar short, and I could see the gold bar, but I could never get to it. I found a map on the internet of the whole gameplay, and I actually manually created a map on graph paper for Pitfall 2 as a kid. And I knew where it was, I just didn't see where to jump from to get to it because that's kind of difficult. But you basically have to go all the way up to just about the very end and then jump back to get this one gold bar. And I did everything, and I was, I think, 50 or 500 points short, whatever the gold bar score is. But I'll basically do a marathon session. It might be on a Saturday or something like that to attempt to get the perfect score. And it may be boring to watch too, but after I get the perfect score, I'll trim out that section and put the YouTube video up of just the portion where I get the perfect score. So that's it for this evening. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Please thumbs up, please like, please whatever. This is a little thing I'm going through. We got 6 down and 300 and I think 66 games to go. But I'm not going to play the duplicates, so that'll probably cut out about 60 or so because a lot of the games are duplicates of the Atari games. The Sears games, they only had a couple unique games. And then a bunch of the other sellers just laid on, copied the games. But that's probably the part of the problem when it busted is people didn't know what to buy, and when they're faced with too many choices and not enough information, and they just gravitate away from it. And then other systems came out, the Nintendo system, Nintendo Entertainment System, that came out, and that was just like way beyond what anything Atari was doing. They had the 7800, and that was marketed. It played similar looking games, but the controllers weren't as good. Although in Europe they were similar to the Nintendo controller, and then they also marketed it that it played all these 2600 games. Well, nobody was playing 2600 anymore because they looked terrible. I mean, and there's no way around it. I mean, these graphics in this game were poor, but in some of the other games, they were a little better, but you're just basically moving pixels around a screen, and it's your imagination that gets you believing that this is a car race where you're shooting missiles. It's basically you're moving this brick around and you're shooting another brick at an opponent's brick, and it was very limited in its capabilities, but for the time it was beyond anything we had seen. So again, have a nice evening. Hopefully everyone stays safe, stays healthy, and remember to wash your hands and keep 6 feet distance, social distance for people. Thanks. Enjoy your evening.